Constructors. We have already seen the default constructor. Now let's look at what is called as parameterized constructor. A constructor which takes some parameters, and based on those parameters it initializes the data members. So here what we are going to do is to use parameterized constructor through explicit call. Okay. Now as usual, IO stream.h class number, now int a comma b, and this is going to be private. Now public will be, first you will have the constructor. It will accept two arguments, int p and int q, and as part of its method, what will it do? It will initialize a to p and b to q, and we will have a operation called display. Now what this will do is just display a and b. Cout a is equal to a. Remember, we are in the this display operation is there inside the class itself, so we can directly access the data members. Okay, and then b is equal to b and end line. Okay, that is as far as the class is concerned. Now void main. Now what we are going to do is just create the objects and display the variables. Now if you remember, we were using the class name as the type and a name for the object. That's all we were doing. In this case it was calling the default constructor. Now since we have to call a parameterized constructor, we will have to say equal to and call the constructor, say 10 comma 20. Similarly, number obj2 is equal to number 40 comma 50. Okay, so which means what, in the first object A should be 10 and B should be 20. In object number 2, A should be 40 and B should be 50. Okay, so let's display this now. First object, in first object A is equal to A. Now I can't just say A, I have to ask it to display it, right? So I don't have to say A equal to, because it is there in the display operation itself. So what I will do is I will call the display operation of the obj1, object 1, display. Okay, and end line. Cout in second object, so obj2 dot display and end line. Okay, and then finally get ch. Let's run it. Functions containing missing return statements are, where is it? Missing statements are, it's a warning, but still are not expanded in line, so we can ignore it. If you don't want it to, you can just say return void. And we say void, in which case we don't have to, I don't think we require this. Now let's run this. Illegal structure operation. obj1 22 23 function getCH should have a prototype. So here we should have, I include conio.h. Okay, that is one. Illegal structure operation in cout in first object obj1.display. Is it correct? Display. I am calling the display operation. Let's run this again. Unexpected. Okay, in this we don't require now. Now let's run it. Okay, illegal structure operation. Class number. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's rename this. Maybe number. You need to be careful with some names. Let's say num, because maybe some word that you use as a name may have special meaning in the language. Okay, now let's run this. Function number should have a prototype. Okay, okay, still the same. What's the problem? Okay, let's do this cout and see what happens. Let's run this. Illegal structure operation. (24) and 26. So it is in this line itself that there is a problem. obj1 object1 num obj1 ob1, let's say ob1. Okay, so it has nothing to do with the object name. Maybe display value, let's say. Display value still the same. Okay. Now this has to be a simple, okay, it has to be a simple function call. We just have to say ob1.display. Okay, ob1.display. Sorry, ab2. Display is not a display value. Display value. Okay, in first object a equal to 10, b equal to 20. In second object a equal to 40, b equal to 50. So here main thing is that this is how you create an object and call a non-default constructor. And as you have seen, constructor will initialize the data members based on the arguments that has been passed. Okay, so let's save this and let's name it as para constructor. Okay, and it should be there in source, and close and quit.